Hi, I'm Yana.
I'm Sophia, and for this video we will be analyzing anthropometric data. We will do so by collecting our measurements and the different measurements of spaces and objects around the USC campus.
The objective of this video is to compare and contrast measurements of the students and the standard for adult persons, compare and contrast common areas and items with those collected and with the standard, and lastly, determine the differences and then comment on comfortability when interacting with said area or an item.
We will begin our analysis by comparing our anatomical measurements to the standard measurements of an adult female as referenced from the architectural graphic standards. The table shown on screen presents the data of both students side by side with the adult female standard. From this table, we can observe that the two students are noticeably smaller compared to the selected reference. Our first location is at the SAFAD ramps. This area is where most student traffic passes through. As such, we decided to compare our measurements with the ramp. As you can see, the ramps are wide enough for 2 lanes of people with enough space to consider front and side movement.
We decided to analyze the small walkway that leads to the parking lot. We wanted to compare the previous ramp with this smaller walkway. Here, you can see that the walkway is significantly smaller and can only accommodate 1 lane of people.
This is the table's footrest. This feature is concerned with the detailed measurements of the feet. The footrest is rather narrow, but it is wide enough to provide comfort to the user.
We noticed a fire alarm and decided to collect its measurements.
A standard of 400 cm or 4 meters. Actually, we read as fire alarm, but you can tell that on the very red. However, you can't read from this distance that it is written to fire alarm, but it's very comprehensible based on its symbol.
One of the notices pasted around the school walls is able to be read at the standard read distance of 30 cm up to 40 cm.
This time, we were at the railings located near SAFAD lobby. We collected the railing height and compared it with our height. The handrail diameter should be comfortable for the students to grip.
We leave SAFAD and pass through MRC Hall. Here we collected one data which is considered one for standing height. Here we compared the ceiling height of the entrance to MRC.
Here, we can see the height of the library shelves in comparison to an adult person's height. While in this other video, you can see that the placement of the outlets within the library.
Our first area for this category is the library study hall. Here we use studying as the context for working sitting measurements, taking into consideration the heights of the tables and the chairs.
Lastly, we collected the data from the library's lodge sofa. We used the sofa to compare our body measurements to.
To conclude, from this exercise we have learned that the human body varies in size. Thus, a single standard cannot accommodate all sorts of people with different body shapes. Therefore, as designers, we must first determine the group of people we are designing for. This way, we can work on details that could be beneficial to our selected demographic.